Oh, I did. Do I introduce myself or what are we doing?
Just whatever you want to do.
Alright, so, hi guys, if you're listening in the Discord, if you're watching on YouTube, I don't know, but hello. I'm Lucy, CandyEvie, or Luvie. I make videos about Pokémon, I make animations, I stream on Twitch, I do a bit of everything. Yeah, that's me. Hi.
Welcome to the show, guys. I have no idea where Doplex or Manikudos are right now. It's kind of unusual situation, but I am an avid Pokemon fan, so I am totally prepared to do this episode solo, so let's just go ahead and get started. Here's the question of the hour. I have a living Pokédex.
Oh my.
Is there any reason whatsoever for me to play the remakes?
Ooh, well, what game do you have the living dex in? Or do you, have it in home?
I have it on Shield. Well, I don't have it on Shield. Well, I have it on in my storage, but I also have it on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh.
Yeah, I have everything.
Well, have you played, the original Diamond and Pearl before, or?
Yeah, I've played every game since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's about reliving the experience, I think. I think a lot of people aren't really sure what to expect from the remakes, but...
Well,
at the end of the day, I'm gonna get to hear the music again, so there's always a positive to take from it.
Here's the thing. That era was my least favorite, though. It was... the battles were so slow.
I know.
I just didn't really find it all that interesting.
Yeah, well, I think it is nostalgia value for a lot of people. I mainly grew up on Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl, right? So, it's reliving the childhood experience, right? It's what was your first Pokemon game?
Red.
Red, yeah. So, yeah, how did you find Fire and Leaf Green, or even Let's Go?
Well, because
did you play Let's Go?
Yeah, I played Let's Go. The cool thing about that era, the RBY era, is it had this really open-ended game system where you could basically do almost all the badges out of order, and you could kind of craft your own experience and everything. So
yeah, that is true.
So
that is true.
Getting to replay those was just kind of pleasant from a gameplay experience.
Yeah, every game after that, I think, was a lot more linear.
So yeah, I mean, it depends on what they're remaking. Also, I got to be completely honest with you. I think that I speak for just about everyone when I say that I was expecting for them to make these games in the style of Sword and Shield.
Yeah, everyone was. It's kind of unprecedented, that they're sort of just doing a remaster, in a sense. It's, I don't know, maybe not a 3D remaster. It's hard to really pinpoint what it is. It's not a remake by what we would define as a remake,
Yeah.
But it's not a port either. It's kind of somewhere in between the two. That's weird.
I know, part of me wants to ask, who are these for? Because obviously they're for people who, either didn't get to play the games back in the day and want to be able to play them kind of in an updated form, or people who are, basically they're just kind of nostalgia baiting. But
no, I think the same audience they've always been going for, really. There's the people me, they're gonna buy it just for the nostalgia value, and then it's weird to think that every new Pokemon game is gonna be someone's first experience with the series, right?
Yeah.
So it's strange to think what someone's gonna think of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and they're just really not the precedent so far.
It's also weird because they had the precedent in the past where they would update the remakes to kind of match the experience of the current system. When you played Fire Red and Leaf Green, they were updated to be Game Boy Advance games. So it's they're not... It's they did that for several generations, and now they're just kind of not.
Yeah, I want to say everything got confusing from Let's Go onward, because graphically Let's Go is really similar to, Sun and Moon and all that, it's Switch and all that, but it was weird to have the first game on a new console not be a new gen. They hadn't done that before. It's it kind of upset things.
I guess my question is, there's obviously a reason that they're doing it this way, and I correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're farming this out to another company, right?
Oh yeah, Ilka making. Yeah, that kind of threw me a bit too.
Yeah, so it must be a situation where they're like, is Pokemon Legends Arceus?
Yeah, that's the one that Game Freak's making.
Yeah, I never know how to pronounce that name, but so that's what they're kind of putting all their resources into?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Like, it's odd because, like, normally the main game of the year, like, they tend to release it, you know, in, like, Q3, Q4.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, they've always produced that game, right? But, like, they're releasing Legends Arceus, like, sometime early 2021. So, like, it's not even the main game of the year, you know, at least by what we know. It's just really strange.
It looks intriguing, but I just, like...
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really know what to think about it yet, though, because it's like... They haven't really shown too much. It's like everyone's kind of making all these assumptions and speculations about how this is going to be Pokemon.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Breath
Like, people keep asking me what I think of Legends Arceus, but it's I don't know. Like, I barely know anything about it. Like, we have one trailer. That's it. At least, like, with the remakes, like, at least we have the originals to sort of compare and speculate against, right? But with Legends Arceus, like, there's literally nothing. It's a new entry.
I guess
But
I'm
how
excited.
am I meant to know?
But
Yeah.
also, I kind of feel like if they're going to farm out... Also, this episode is going to be of no interest to people who don't play Pokemon, but that's fine. So, I guess what I would think would be the smart thing to do is farm out the remakes if you're making an actually important mainline game or something. Like, I was kind of hoping that they would do, like, either a new... Not a new generation, but, like, a new 2 new games in the mainline series, or maybe do like Pokemon Gun, like the magical third one or something. Like, it's kind of weird that they're farming the remakes out to do a side project. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, I think they're just changing the way that they make games in general, really. Because, you know, you talk about Pokemon Gun. I don't think there's ever gonna be like some sort of follow up to the Sword and Shield, because like they've set that precedent now, right? They had DLC for Sword and Shield last year, right? So like, it'd be weird if they release, like, you know, something akin to Emerald or Platinum when they've already done DLC.
Well, what do you think of the DLC?
Pros and cons. Like, I think part of me is just attached to like having a separate title. I like that, but you know, realistically, I can see the pros, because like I want to say that like maybe the response to Ultra Sun and Moon like might have set it off a little, because you know, and then in turn, like, you know, Black and White 2, they were such good games, but you know, X and Y, they didn't have any follow-up. So by the time we got Ultra Sun and Moon, like people were basically expecting them to be sequels like Black and White 2 were, but they were more akin to like Emerald and Platinum, and a lot of people were really upset with that, you know, moaning on Twitter like the games are they're like basically the same, whereas yeah, they just weren't sequels.
Yeah, I held off on getting the DLC until it was all released, because I don't know, I just kind of wanted to experience it all at once. I finished Isle of Armor that day, and just it was okay. Like, it was fine. Like, I like that it kind of revolved around that one Pokemon and getting him to evolve and everything, and kind of getting attached to it.
Man, I didn't have time for that. Okay. You have to train him in the water, like level 70. Like, I just went straight through Crown Tundra, like, after I got Kofu.
Crown Tundra was pretty cool. I kind of like
Crown Tundra. It's so pretty. It's so pretty.
I like the aesthetics of it. I like the new legendaries and everything. And the one dumb thing was, and I don't know if this is still true today, but at the time you could only get one of the 2 new steeds. You'd have to trade for the other. Yeah,
that's true.
I guess that's kind of Pokemon, though. Like, that's just the deal. Like, you're only gonna get, what, like 97% of them?
Yeah, well, game? I suppose, like, at least they're giving you a choice. Like, normally they just, like, it's locked to each version, isn't it?
I think it's interesting, like, I see a lot of people, like, on Reddit complaining about the trading feature in later years, and I don't think that they understand that that's kind of what made the games successful, though. Like,
yeah, right. Well, that's the reason they have 2 versions.
Yeah, that's like, I remember when I was a kid, you know, taking Pokemon to school to trade with my friends and everything, and that to me is kind of what was interesting about the series. It's like, oh, this is a game that you and your friends are all going to get into, and you're going to work together to you know, catch them all. Did I lose you? So, speaking of awkward transitions when cats get involved in recordings, we were talking about the magic of Pokemon and how trading is actually an essential part of that.
Yeah. It really is like just about the connective experience. Like they've just built on that more and more as time's gone on, I think.
I think also what kind of elevated it, rather skyrocketed it to super awesome, ultimate cool, was when they introduced the GTS.
Yeah.
Which is just a really cool idea that not only can you just trade with your friends, but you can trade with just about anyone in the world.
I didn't even
That's
know
awesome.
about that until like maybe a year or two after I got Pearl, and like the world quite literally opened up to me the moment I connected to Wi-Fi, right? Like I would just like trade as many Pokemon as I could on the GTS, like just to get those little pinpoints on like the globe. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it's also funny because you get to see a lot of people posting really dumb trade requests.
Oh, no.
Like,
that's one thing that never changes.
yeah, I have this Caterpie. I'd like your Zapdos, please. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but like they give impossible ones as well, so it's like I want you Zapdos, but like it has to be level 1, like level 1 to 10. It's like okay.
Did they ever fix that? Like
I don't know. Like I don't think I've traded online for a little while, but last time I checked it, like in Gen 6 or 7, like people are still doing that.
It's weird that they never patched that.
Yeah, I thought that they would, like, to just make impossible trades not viable, but I suppose, like, you gotta have some, like, room to breathe, because, like, there are, with legendaries, like, most of them you can't get at that level, but some you can, right? Like, through events and that.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah.
I think, is it, like, the Regigigas and Platinum that's, like, level 1 or something? It's like
Yeah, I kind of feel like if I had a level 1 legendary, I'd want to hang on to it, though. Like, I wouldn't want to trade it away.
You'd think.
By the way, I don't think we ever kind of went over this. Can you give the audience a little bit of background as to, like, your channel and your streams and everything?
Oh, my channel. I've been knocking about for a little while, but I first started putting up videos in like late 2013. I was really quite an avid shiny hunter. Like I was shiny hunting like long before it was, you know, really that popular of a thing. Like I was very into it. And then that just it gradually transitioned like into different types of Pokemon content. So I'd try out a Let's Play, or I'd try out a trivia video, card opening, and then, you know, as years and years have like passed since then, I do animation now. Well, I still do Pokemon, but I just try and make the content that I would want to watch, and that's just, you know, changed as I've kept on making videos. I
think it's really cool that there's like a dedicated Pokemon community on YouTube. One of my favorite streamers who I never have time to watch live, but I try to catch his videos on YouTube is a guy named Small Ant. Are you familiar with him?
Oh, I think I've seen a couple of his videos before, but
okay.
As someone that does Pokemon, I think I'm surprisingly like unacquainted with the general Pokemon space. It's kind of bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because Small Ant is indicative of something that is really interesting in the Pokemon community, which is that a lot of people get really bored with just the base game, so they try to install all these mods and everything to make it like significantly more difficult.
Yeah.
And he'll do streams like, instead of your Pokemon leveling up, they level down and stuff like that. And it's really interesting to see the ways in which people challenge themselves with the games.
Nah, it was funny to see, like, I think one of the videos I saw from him was like when he did a playthrough with like a full team of shinies, right?
Yeah.
And like it was interesting to like see how that was received on such a wide scale, because like that's literally like what people like in the really niche community of shiny hunters like had been doing on YouTube, you know, like years and years ago. So it's just it's wild to like see so many people getting into it these days when it was just such a tiny hobby like between me and you know, like a few dozen friends, you know.
Why shiny hunting, by the way? What got you into that?
I don't know. Like, I think it's... I like to collect things.
Oh, okay. Well, the Pokemon's the game for you then at that point.
Yeah. Actually, though, like, it's the perfect game for someone that just likes to collect.
Yeah. So, I have a question about the state of the game. Because it's not an uncommon opinion at this point to say that the series has gone downhill over time. And it really depends, I think, a little bit on people's nostalgia glasses as to where it started to go downhill.
I think downhill is really a subjective term.
Yeah.
Right? People are going to have nostalgia in different places, right?
Yeah, the common consensus I seem to hear is that the series apparently, I don't know if this is true or not, peaked around Black and White. And that ever since
it's
then...
really interesting that you say that, because
Yeah.
like, I think generally speaking, people's opinions of games, it's very relative to like how recent they are.
Yeah.
Like, people love Black and White now because, like, for the most part, well, like most people that, you know, grew up with Black and White, they're able to sort of engage, you know, in online discussion about it, whereas, you know, they were growing up with it, they probably wouldn't have had internet access, you know? But,
yeah. It's interesting because Black and White at the time, when they were released...
People hated it.
Yeah. Like, I remember the fact that they didn't have any... During the main playthrough, they didn't have any of the old Pokemon.
Yeah.
Was really controversial at the time, and now it's like kind of seen as, in retrospect, kind of refreshing.
Yeah,
like, it's interesting how these opinions evolve.
People would just take like a few of the designs that they didn't like and then just spread that over the whole game to just say it was bad.
Yeah.
But like most of the people that were engaging in those discussions like online, they were mostly people that like, you know, were nostalgic for Gens 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
It's like they're seeing these new games come out, and, you know, Pokemon's not like it used to be. And that's kind of like what it is these days. Like, people are always going to be the most critical like about the newest game. And then as years go on, you're going to get people that grew up with it and are more nostalgic for it, and they're going to have nicer things to say. Like, that's what's happening with Black and White.
I do think that maybe a few years from now, people will be a little bit nicer when it comes to Sword and Shield. I have some serious criticisms of those games, but I kind of found myself getting caught up in the pre-release negativity towards that. And when I actually played the game,
it's very different than it used to be, because like we didn't have this massive online sphere to sort of bounce off of, you know, each other with. Whereas like the main thing that people are angry about with Sword and Shield is, you know, the whole national deck situation, but it's really not all that different to what happened in Gen 3, because like Gen 3 was my first game, so like I didn't really notice it as much as other people would have, but like you couldn't backwards trade at all, like from Gen 1 and 2, and like a lot of people were really upset with that at the time, because like, you know, these Pokemon that they've grown up with, like they're locked, like they can't bring them forward.
Yeah, I do get that.
Yeah, I think it's kind of worse in a way than what's happened with Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I kind of get that criticism. Like, that makes sense to me. I think they kind of just didn't really know what they were doing as much back then, I guess. It is weird in retrospect that they didn't make some sort of, like, 2 to 3 at least, like a transfer system. But
yeah, it would have been nice. But
I actually think that when it comes to gameplay in Sword and Shield, they kind of trimmed the fat when it came to the available Pokemon, and I found that enjoyable. I do think it would have been cool if they had made them all available in the post-game, though. Like, it's strange that they just kind of locked them out indefinitely. But technically, I guess since I have them on Pokemon Home, it's ultimately fine. Like,
I suppose like it was always going to come to a point where it was like a bit unsustainable. Like, whether it was Gen 8 or Gen 20, like what are they gonna do when they have like 1,000, 2,000 Pokemon and they have to like put every single one into the game individually? Like, it's one thing with like Gen 3 and 4, like they have to make like a new sprite for you know, maybe a couple hundred. But you know, you're working with like multiple hundreds now, so it's a lot more work than it ever was back then.
Yeah, there's a totally fair point, which is that eventually there's going to come a point where even if they wanted to, there's just no way that you can. Like when they get to Pokemon number 1600, they're just going to try to like competitively balance all of them and everything, and it's just like,
oh man, could you imagine?
Yeah, it's just there is a point of no return eventually, so it's like I do get it, and maybe this is speculation here, but maybe this is them feeling like they're starting to get to that point and just choosing
definitely.
to... Yeah,
like, I think really they started to get to that point like around Gen 6 to 7, because like I think Gen 6 was sort of the last hurrah, like in terms of, Pokédex completion, because like that was a big thing at the time, that like you could get every single Pokemon like between X and Y, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, whereas like, then you move to Gen 7 and like you could get every single Pokemon in Gen 7 like through transfers, but like they didn't all have a Dex entry, which was like kind of indicative, I think, of like the direction that they were heading.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, in previous games, like even with Pokemon you had to transfer that like weren't natively in the game, like they'd still give them Dex entries, but then they stopped doing that.
So we've been kind of defending the franchise pretty extensively here.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm curious if you have any do you have any actual criticisms of where it's headed?
I don't mean to be disappointing, but I think when it comes to Pokemon, I'm very easily pleased. Like it takes a lot to get me concerned, which is why it's kind of big for me that I am a little bit concerned about the remakes, at least.
Okay, so you're just like someone who enjoys all the games and I wouldn't say that I'm not critical on the remakes, but I am nervous, Yeah. And mostly just because like I grew up with Gen 4, so like I want them to be good, but what we've seen so far, just not saying it's not good, but it does make me a bit nervous. Yeah. What do you think about the constant, every generation at this point, they'll introduce some interesting new mechanic, like Mega Evolution or Z moves, and then they just kind of abandon it?
Well, I'm not sure about with Mega Evolution, because like they did put that back into Let's Go, and like people are speculating, maybe it's going to be in the Sinnoh remakes as well, which like it could be viable, but for the most part, like most of the mechanics, they seem to be pretty exclusive like to the games that they're in, and like you do wonder like if there's gonna come a point where it's like if it gets a bit tired and people are just like expecting there just to be a new gimmick like every generation.
Yeah.
How much can they really come up with, Yeah,
I mean, I think it's one of those situations where I think honestly people would be pleased if they just made new Pokemon. Like it's like the people who play Madden, like the Madden NFL, aren't really expecting major evolution each title. They're just usually satisfied with the roster update and just like improving the mechanics. I think it's okay if they don't introduce these major gimmicks every time, but it is a little disappointing when they do, and then that's just it. Like you never hear about them again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so what's the deal with moms and wanting to dress up their kids in sailor outfits?
Huh?
Oh,
what?
do you guys have this over the over across the pond? Because in America, there's this big thing.
I know what a sailor outfit is, but what?
Okay, in America, there's this weird thing where like moms like to dress their kids up in sailor outfits and take a picture.
That's the first time I'm hearing about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a very common thing over here. I guess it never made its way over to the.
Like sailor, like school uniforms, or what?
No, like an actual like sailor outfit.
An actual sailor outfit.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
Yeah, if you look up a sailor outfit baby boy, there's like thousands and thousands of pictures of this. This is like a huge thing over here. Swake in the chat says my mom did it to me. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. The chat at discord.t1podcast.com if you want to tune into these episodes live. Oh, and I just found out from Doplex that he didn't know that we were recording at this time and isn't home. So, what a dirty dog. Yeah, anyway. Thankfully, I got through my childhood unscathed.
Yeah, me too, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I wasn't really going anywhere with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a point of conversation. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, it was because like I saw it the other day in a grocery store. Like this mom brought her kid in a sailor outfit, and I'm thinking, why are you doing this in public? That's a very strange thing to do.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. Like they're almost like Halloween costumes.
Yeah, except they don't do it on Halloween. They'll just do it on like a Tuesday. I don't understand. Anyway, back to Pokemon.
Yeah, that's nice transitions. Let's get back to Pokemon.
Hold on one second. I just got a message that I really need to respond to. Sorry guys, I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Guys in the chat, ask Lucy some questions.
How many hours do I have in the current gen? I think I have like 200 on my sword, but I think a lot of that's idle time. It's like I'll just like leave my Switch running and forget about it. Yeah, because like I went away one week and I didn't realize that my Switch was still on until like 2 or 3 days later, when one of my friends messaged me being like, "You've been online playing Pokemon Sword for like 2 days. Are you okay?" So like I just like have a bunch of like Sword hours that I didn't even play.
Do you play anything other than Pokemon?
Ooh, I play a few things, but I don't have like a library as such. I like Animal Crossing. I do like me some Animal Crossing. I grew up with a few of the Spyro games. I like those quite a lot.
Something about this generation of consoles has me completely glued to the Switch, just in general. Like, I used to be exclusively into the PlayStation line of consoles, but with Mario and Zelda and Pokemon, I've just... it's like kind of being a kid again, because I played through Odyssey, and then that became like one of my favorite games of all time, and then I played through Mario Galaxy because they re-released it on 3D All-Stars, and then like that became my favorite game of all time. Nintendo's doing something right now. I don't know what it is. They're just like... The Switch is just like it's just an awesome system overall. I really like it.
Okay. I have been meaning to play a lot more Switch games. Like, I've never played Odyssey before. Like, I'm guessing you'd recommend it.
Oh, yeah. If you have a Pulse, I recommend that game. It's fantastic. I'm sure you've probably heard of that at this point, but for anyone in the audience who hasn't read much into it, the cool thing about Super Mario Odyssey is you have a hat that's also a ghost, and the hat can plug into other enemies, and then you can use those enemies' abilities to get across the level. It's an amazing system, and it just barely scratches the surface of what they can do with it, and you're just moving on from enemy to enemy. It never really like lags or anything. You just get in real quick for like 15 seconds at a time, and you get out. And each level has a different gimmick with that. Just a fantastic game, but it isn't Pokemon, so, it does have that going against it, but, yeah. Zwick in the chat says, have you ever heard of the "My favorite Pikachu is Bulbasaur" meme? I'm not familiar with that one.
No, I have not, regrettably.
Yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one, buddy. I'm just gonna take a couple of these questions, because I actually think they are pretty good ones. Yeah. Someone's asking, have you ever competed in the VGC? What do you think of the competitive community for Pokemon?
Oh, I'm very on the outskirts in that sense. Like, I have little to no experience, like, competitively.
Yeah. I think it's interesting, like, I'll catch a highlight once in a while from it. Like, when that one guy used Pachirisu to tank against a Garchomp.
Yes, yeah, even people that aren't interested competitively, like, just know about the Pachirisu. It's great.
Yeah. Let's see here. Is Eevee your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, no. My favorite Pokemon's Yanma. It's a bit of a weird choice, but I just like him a lot.
Someone asked, what's your favorite question? That's not helpful. How many... let's see. Do you plan on changing the games you stream? Are you going to stream more games? Is a good question.
Oh, I've been streaming like a lot of the older Pokemon games recently. Like I've been playing a lot of Fire Red. It's been fun. I think I'm probably gonna be playing like something in Ruby and Sapphire in about a week, but I'm still I'm still very confined within Pokemon, I think.
One of the only downsides to going back to the previous generations that I've found is that Game Freak has been pretty good at putting out quality of life changes in the Pokemon series over time. Like, they've made it a lot easier to do stuff. And
yeah, definitely.
They've removed a lot of the really inconvenient stuff like HMs, and now you can just kind of fly to wherever you want, whenever you want, and you don't have to carry someone with you to surf and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does throw you a bit sometimes.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to go back to the earlier games where it's like pretty tedious at points.
No, I think actually I find it to be the other way around most of the time. So like really? when playing Sword and Shield, like I didn't realize that like you had the box in your bag for like the whole game. It's like I kept going to the PC physically to switch stuff out, and I didn't realize that like you could just do it from your bag the whole time.
Wow. Yeah, that was super convenient.
Yeah. I was like, I could do this the whole time. That's so good.
In fairness, I'm not sure if they actually told you that, though, in the game. I don't remember.
Yeah, like I remembered it was a thing in Let's Go, but like I thought it was just there for Let's Go, because like Let's Go's like quite a bit easier, you know?
Yeah, Let's Go is really kind of an anomaly. I really enjoyed it.
It's very casual. It's really casual. Like it's a different experience for, you know, your experienced Pokemon player and your casual. So like I have an older sister, right? We both grew up on Pokemon, but I think I probably took more of an interest in it than she did. So you know, I literally have a YouTube channel for it now. But yeah, like she played Sword and Shield and Let's Go around the same time, and she enjoyed like Let's Go way more than Sword and Shield, I think, because, you know, we grew up playing like Fire Red and Leaf Green and that, so it's the nostalgic experience, and she's more of a casual player, so she just wanted to have a fun time. She liked Let's Go more. Makes sense.
It's a little weird because they kind of stitched two different games together with it. Like, you have the wild Pokemon play like Pokemon Go, and then the trainer battles play like normal. Yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of odd, but it doesn't not work. Like, it's still very much playable. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I wonder what people are going to think about that one in a few years. Like, I wonder where the opinion's going to go. Yeah. Let's see here. What was the best moment in a Pokemon game? What? I don't know. I think the best moment in a Pokemon game is like the first moments in your first Pokemon game. I think that's the early magic is. What starter did you pick then? I picked Squirtle back in Red. And then
my first starter would have been Torchic, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a Gen 3.
I also have some salt when it comes to that because, okay, so are you familiar with the Missingno Glitch?
Yep.
Okay. So one of my friends actually figured it out early, and I'm not gonna say his last name, but David, you got a Missingno, and you had me trade my Blastoise for it and never gave it back. Like, that was a really crappy trade.
Oh man, I feel that. Like in Gen 4, I had this Zapdos that I transferred up from Fire Red, and like I loved that Zapdos. It was named Electric in all caps. I loved it. One day, my sister had one of her friends over, and like she couldn't get past the Elite Four in like Diamond and Pearl, and like I decided I would let her borrow my Zapdos because I'm a nice person. I wanted it back. I never got it back. I never saw Electric again.
What a jerk. Anyway,
yep.
Someone says, what do you think of the Pokemon game stories? Do you feel they're needed to better enjoy them, or can you do without them? I'm going to answer that, and then I'll give you a chance to answer it as well, because we might have different opinions.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the stories in the games, because for me, the interesting part is the gameplay. However, I do think that the storytelling has improved over time. And obviously, to some extent, in earlier games, that's limited by the small form factor, and, you know, there's not a lot of room for visual storytelling at that point. But I liked the story in Sword and Shield. I thought it was cool. I thought the plot of the gyms in the Pokemon League was fantastic. I think I've never really enjoyed gym battles as much as I have in that game. The mechanics of the Dynamax. Yeah, it was so cool. Like, it was an actual league, like a sports league. Instead of just you go into an office building and battle a trainer, it's like the aesthetics of the game was really cool. And I think you can say what you want about the rest of the game, but that was probably my favorite part about it.
And I think, like, being a Brit like myself, like, it just kind of added to the experience, because like now you should see like how hype people get over football, or would you call it soccer matches, like, over here.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's everything. So just, you know, having that be the setup for the gyms, like, it just made so much sense. It worked really well.
I'm curious what your answer to the original question was, though.
I think you talked about the stories, you know, sort of improving over time. I don't know, I think, at least for me, they can be a bit hit and miss. So, like, people always go back to Gen 5 as, like, being, you know, sort of like a standout, you know? But I think Gen 5 is better than Gen 6 in terms of the story. Like, I wasn't really big on Gen 6's story. Sun and Moons is really good. I like Sun and Moons a lot. think.
Well, the thing I liked about Sun and Moon is that they kind of did something different for once.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure it worked quite as well like in Ultra Sun and Moon, because I everything was kind of building up to, what happens with Luzamine.
Yeah.
At the climax of Sun and Moon. I don't know if it's spoilers at this point.
But, how old are those games at this point?
It's like 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah. if you haven't played them by now,
yeah. Like in Ultra Sun and Moon, like they changed the climax so that it doesn't really have anything to do with Luzamine. So it's like, what was it building up to? She's just like a bad person now,
I do kind of miss the Ultra Beasts, which the cool thing about the Ultra Beasts to me is that they completely eschew everything about a normal Pokemon design. Like, they're completely unrecognizable when it comes to they're almost more like Digimon in some ways, but like kind of not in a bad way. I just really like their aesthetics.
Yeah, I think some of them are passable as regular Pokemon. Like I think Poipole and that. Yeah. Poipole looks like a Pokemon, I think.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, how'd you pronounce like the second one? Is it like Naganadel?
Naganadel?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what they need to do is every time there's a new game series, not a new game series, every time there's a new game in the series, they need to make a YouTube video where there's just a guy and he's going and just like pronouncing all of them.
Please.
Like that would be really useful.
No, like there are some Pokemon that like I know the formal way that they're meant to be pronounced, but I've been pronouncing them a different way like for so long that I'm almost too stubborn to like say them a different way.
Oh yeah, I feel that way also about the name Pokemon. I'm not going to pronounce it Pokemon. I'm just not going to do it. I know that that's the official way to do it, but I just can't bring myself to pronounce it that way. It's just so awkward.
I'm trying to think of examples.
What's the guy's name? Which guy was that? Oh, J-Rose. Yeah. I admire him just because like he's really consistent in actually pronouncing Pokemon right. Like I'm not gonna do that, but I'm glad someone does. Someone like respects the franchise enough to do that.
Yeah, I feel like it, especially with like my accent, it'd probably sound a bit forced. Just like Pokemon, just like just doesn't work,
Yeah. Do you consume the anime or any of the movies in the series?
Not much. Like I used to watch like the Gen 2 and Gen 3 anime quite a lot growing up, but and a few of the movies, but I haven't really watched it regularly for a long time. I got invited to a few of the premieres, but that's about it.
Yeah, I remember when I was like real young, I saw the first movie, and that I think they gave you like this. It was like an ancient Mew card. It was really cool. But,
yeah, I have a couple of those. They're cool.
Yeah, I kind of fell off after that though. I'm mostly just into the games. People are asking if you played, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Pokken?
Oh, Pokken Tournament. No, I haven't.
It looks cool.
I haven't really played a lot of, like, console games. Like, I've mostly just been into handheld. It's like the Switch is pretty much like my first Nintendo, like, home console, so
yeah.
It's weird.
Have we talked about new Pokemon Snap? No, we have not.
No, we haven't.
It sounds alright. Like, it sounds... I played Pokemon Snap when I was a kid, the original, and it was fun to play with friends for like a day, but it got pretty repetitive. So I hope there's like a lot more content this time, because you can get through that game and beat it in just a couple hours. And then it's an on-rails photography game, so there's no variety in replaying it. But yeah, and it looks pretty cool, I guess. I've seen some of the screenshots, so I don't know. I might check it out.
I'm pretty new to the world of Snap. Like I never played that growing up, so if I end up playing new Snap, it'll be my first experience with it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Rockshell says in the chat, it's more like a puzzle. Yeah, kind of. Like the main mechanic, other than taking pictures, is trying to figure out how you're going to take pictures of the Pokemon. Like you get like apples and balls that kind of distress them or distract them and stuff, and there are a few secrets in there. Like, you have to very carefully play through the game to trigger the appearance of certain Pokemon and stuff. And so yeah, it's got some puzzle elements, I guess. It's a fun afternoon, and that's about it. That's really all I have to say about that. Yeah, we did talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus. Has Lucy played any Pokemon games before release? I think you actually have. I remember reading about this. Weren't you invited to some event?
Yeah. I got to play a bit of Let's Go, like at the Pokemon Company office. Like that was really fun.
Oh, okay. What was that like?
Kind of a surreal experience, because like just getting to go to the Pokemon office itself was like, little kid's dream, right? I was just kind of sat there just taking it in the whole time. Like they have the displays they have there, like they're wild.
Mm-hmm. This was a pre-release version, right?
Oh, I'm not possibly. Like it wasn't a demo, so like the one that we played, like I think we went to Brock. Like we probably could have played past Brock if we'd wanted to. Well, but like they asked us not to, so we didn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's
really cool. Just like getting invited by the creators of the series that kind of is your YouTube career. That must be quite an honor.
I think I got like a day or two's notice, and I'm like, I'm just dropping everything. I'm dropping everything for you, Pokemon.
Yeah, someone in the chat says you should have smuggled the cartridge out. Maybe not.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, okay. I ask this question on basically every episode, and I think it's an interesting one, but I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the future of your content.
Future of my content? Oh,
I'm curious to know where you see yourself going with this.
I do. My goal with content is to just make what I want to watch, right? And like I honestly don't know like what that's gonna be in a year or two. Like it could change, but my goals is to. I always just want to be learning and growing creatively, right? And I do a lot to do with animation these days as well. And like it doesn't feel like there's really a ceiling with that. Like there's always something new to learn there. I think I want to make more animations. But I do still really like Pokemon, but they kind of balance each other out for me.
Okay.
I think if I were talking about Pokemon for the rest of my life, then that would probably drive me a bit crazy. But I have the animation on the side to help keep me sane.
At the same time, it might be kind of interesting to be like 75 years old and like still talking about Pokemon.
Oh man, I don't know if I'd want that.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. And are you going to be doing Pokemon content for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I'm just trying to do a bit of everything. Like I've been a one-person team like for the whole time, so like I don't know how sustainable it is to like, do everything on my own forever. So like I might see if I could hire some help like editing, like with the animation front, but I'm doing all right so far, I think.
Awesome. Oh, here's a topic we haven't really talked about. Shippage in the chat says, opinions on fan games like Pokemon Prism or Pokemon Uranium.
Ooh, I haven't played either of those, and I haven't played fan games for a while, but I did play quite a few, like when I was doing Let's Plays. Like, I played Momon, played Pokemon Sweet. Yeah, Pokemon Sweet. Did I play any others? Oh, I played like a hack of Red that was like Team Rocket themed. That was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played any ROM hacks before?
Yeah, I have. For the most part, the mods that I've played are randomizers. I think those are really interesting. Where it's like it kind of scrambles the Pokemon you can get, and it's like it's strategically interesting, but it's also kind of like hilarious. Like you just see like a Lugia in like a level 1 zone, so it's kind of yeah. Oh yeah, people in the chat are talking about. I think they're talking about the game you were describing, Pokemon Ash Gray. Is that the one?
Ooh, I haven't played that before.
Okay.
They're talking about creepypastas. I played one called Hypno's Lullaby once.
Okay. What's that about? I don't think I've heard of that one.
Okay, so like, there are a few like of Hypno's Dex entries that are super creepy, where it talks about like hypnotizing kids and leading them away. So like, they basically just like made a ROM hack based on that.
Oh, okay.
Where you get hypnotized by Hypno and you just like end up in his cave.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right.
it ain't good.
Yeah. Well, because Pokemon Ash Gray, like I was talking about a second ago, I believe is trying to be completely faithful to the original anime. Like they make it so that you catch the same Pokemon.
Ooh, yeah, I haven't played it before, but I know there's one that's like based in the Orange Islands too, I think. Is that like
The one downside to Pokemon ROM hacks is that I can't take the Pokemon with me that I catch. Like I can't bring them along with me, like in the mainline games.
Oh,
like,
that's an interesting one. I wonder if you can, because like I've been like you've got 2 types of bootleg games, right? You've got ROM hacks, and then you've got just straight up copies of games like on a fake cartridge. Like I've heard of people saying that you can trade like between a fake game and a real game. It's like I wonder if you put a ROM cartridge onto like a cartridge, like would you be able to trade with a real game or not?
So I mean, I'm just speculating here. I'm guessing it's maybe for some of the titles that are closer to their original counterparts, maybe the code would play friendly with that.
Yeah, I've never tried it, so like I wouldn't know.
Okay, I think this guy's doing laps around my house. I don't know what's going on with this.
Oh my goodness.
Guys in the chat, while we're waiting for this guy to simmer down, type up some final questions. We'll go ahead and take maybe 2 or 3 more, and then we'll call it a day. Oh, now he's coming back.
He's doing loops. He's practicing for his race.
Okay, I think he's gone. Nope, now he's back. He oh my god. I'll be right back. 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Jesus. Sorry. Guys, I'll be right back.
Oh, wait, you got me to talk to. Whoa. Lucky. It is going quite nice this fine Sunday evening. Thank you very much. Okay, I hope you're all doing okay as well.
Okay, I'm back. They just
Hello.
left. Hi. Someone says, what's the deal with airline food? Airline food has improved over time. Like, it gets a bad rap, I think. How's it going on this fine Sunday evening? And he's back.
Oh no.
Oh my god. It's ridiculous. Oh, there he goes. Okay. I'm gonna have to splice a lot of this in editing, but that's fine. Okay. Catch him with a Pokeball. I think I might have to. Okay. So, do you think you're gonna ever have a living shiny Dex?
Oh no, man. Oh, why would I do that? Oh, that hurts.
Do you think anyone actually has one of those?
Ooh, suppose it depends what game. Like maybe that would be more viable in a game like Let's Go. But like, say if you wanted to do it in like, I don't know, like Ruby and Sapphire, where like there's no methods at all, so you just have to like forwards everything. Mm-hmm. Oh, that hurts. Oh, I couldn't do that.
Some of the chat says, I think a shiny Dex is possible and more fun as a team effort. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
I like that.
Yeah, there's probably some people out there who do that. Shippage in the chat asks, any ultimate career goals / dreams? I'm not sure if he's asking me or you.
Well, I'm kind of mind blown with like how far I've come so far, to be honest. But I suppose like you just look forward to the same milestones that everyone looks forward to. It's like, oh, do you reckon I could hit 1 million one day? That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome. Did you get your play button?
Oh, I have a couple of play buttons. I got the first one like back during the old design, so like I have one of each now. This is cool.
For me, I would say my ultimate career goal, I do enjoy doing this podcast, but I ultimately want to make like longer form kind of like video essay stuff at some point.
Yeah, I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I have an idea for a video that I want to do in which I talk about the concept of oblivion and the idea of the fact that we will all eventually die and the inevitability of that and how there's absolutely nothing we can do. I think that's a really interesting concept, even though it's a bit morbid.
That's the sort of stuff that keeps me awake at night.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, Lucy, is there anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Ooh, I'm not sure, but I've had a lot of fun now. Have we got like any quick questions that we can squeeze in before?
Yeah, also, I apologize on the behalf of my co-hosts who weren't able to attend this. Apparently, they didn't know it was happening so early. I've been kind of scrambling to keep
those time zones for you.
Yeah, trying to keep the conversation going and everything. And, well, if you're listening to this for the first time, I have two co-hosts, Doplex and Many Kudos, who are usually here. And so in other episodes, there's a lot more bouncing around in the conversations and a lot more chaos, I'll say that. But yeah, I guess if people don't have any more questions, we can go and wrap things up. Although there is a fairly generic question in the chat about what it's like being an animator. Do you want to take that question?
Very boring most of the time. There's a lot of like laborious stuff, so like doing storyboards and stuff is fun. It's probably like one of the most fun parts for me, but then I've got to go over and like line everything and color everything, and like it's just the same actions over and over. What made me want to animate? I just kind of got thrust into like the community by YouTube recommendations, and I just thought it looks fun, I want to try it, so I did.
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of animators that we've had on the show that it's a lot of work, but ultimately it's a lot of fun. So
definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's nice to see the progress as well, because like pretty much all of my progress with animation like is on my channel, right? Like start to finish. So it's nice seeing that personal progression as well. Like I know I'm improving like as I'm making videos, which is
you
nice.
have like video evidence of that, like the progression.
Yeah, actually, like everything, be it my script writing skills, delivery, and all that. I can just go back and watch my old videos and see the improvement, and it's nice.
Yeah. Well, Lucy, we've been looking to get a PokeTuber on the podcast for a very long time at this point, so thanks for helping us check that box off, and I really appreciate you taking your time.
Thanks for inviting me. It's been a lot of fun.
If people want to check out your stuff, where can they go ahead and do that?
Oh my. Like everywhere. I have my Pokemon channel, CandyEvie. I have my animation channel, Luvie. I have a TikTok and like a shorts channel for like little short animations. I stream on Twitch, and I think that's it. Pretty much. That's pretty much it.
All right. You've been listening to the first podcast. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Really helps us out a lot, and you can always change your mind later. Donate on patreon.com/T1podcast if you want to get bonus episodes of the show, early release privileges, a patron-only chat, a funny role on the Discord, and more. Lucy, you took us in. Can you go ahead and take us out?
I'm terrible at endings. I'll just say thank you kindly for watching. I appreciate it very much. And just if this is like your first podcast watching, just go ahead, just watch the rest of them. They're great. Do that.
Also, Doplex and Many Kudos. See me after class. I'll just put it that way.